Say Yes to the Dress is a beloved reality TV show that takes viewers into the heart of bridal fashion. It isn't just a show, it's the embodiment of the emotional journey of brides-to-be as they search for their dream wedding gown. While the show is known for its heartwarming moments and stunning dresses, not every gown gets a fairy tale ending. In today's video, we're taking a walk down the less glamorous side of the aisle to explore some of the most controversial and worst dresses that have ever graced the screen on Say Yes to the Dress. But just before diving into all the details, if you're new, we're glad to have you here. Click on the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on more interesting videos like this one. Say Yes to the Dress has become more than just a television show. It's a standard for brides-to-be, fashion lovers, and even casual viewers who just love a good story. Filmed at Kleinfeld Bridal in New York City, the series offers an inside look at the emotional journey that women take to find their perfect wedding dress. What sets the show apart is its dive into the personal stories of each bride, blending fashion with the unique drama and joy that comes with preparing for a wedding. The show's appeal lies in its celebration of individuality, whether it's accommodating a bride's specific cultural attire requirements or showing the latest in avant-garde bridal wear. With over 250 professionals, including fitters, seamstresses, and beaders, working on thousands of dresses, Kleinfeld boasts one of the largest selections of bridal dresses in the world. It's a show where dreams meet dresses, and the journey to the altar is just as important as the vows that follow. If this wasn't enough to convince you of the bridal shop's grandeur, Kleinfeld Bridal attends to at least 17,000 brides annually. Its origins date back to 1941, when it started as a fur salon in Brooklyn before gradually transitioning into bridal wear. In 2005, it relocated to its current spot in Manhattan's Chelsea neighborhood. The alterations department has over 90 skilled seamstresses who dedicate around 30 hours to altering each dress. Kleinfeld caters to a diverse range of brides, offering a selection of samples in sizes 16 to 28 for plus-size brides and even accommodating modesty preferences with options for longer sleeves and higher necklines. There's something for every bride in there. However, sometimes even the best fashion boutiques fail to wow us. From fashion faux pas to bridal blunders, let's take a look at the worst dresses in Say Yes to the Dress. Looking at this bridal number, you could say it looks like any other regular dress. This gown fails to be unique with its all-too-familiar lace and traditional silhouette. It's the dress you've seen in every bridal boutique window, the go-to template for safe but sadly forgettable bridal fashion. The lace, intended to add a touch of elegance, instead fades into the background of the wedding, leaving both us and the bride longing for a standout feature. While it's true that every bride shines on her wedding day, this dress seems to dim the sparkle. What it needs is a touch of innovation to elevate it from the everyday to the extraordinary. This dress can't seem to decide if it's headed to the beach or a ball. The top is all glamour with its beading, but it stops short, giving off a bit of a swimsuit vibe. Then there's the skirt, layers upon layers of tulle that scream traditional ball gown. It's like two different dresses got stitched together at the waist. The beads are not really covering all of the top, which can be a bit much for some. If the goal was to mix and match, this dress is a perfect example of when the mixing feels much more like a mismatch. Most brides dream of a long, flowing dress for their big day. But this dress? It's on the other end of the spectrum, super short, which is probably why we don't see it often at weddings. It's a big shift from the norm and might catch a lot of guests by surprise. Sure, it's different, but maybe not the kind of different that most brides are going for. This one's more like a dress for a fun party than a walk down the aisle. It could be someone's perfect dress for the right occasion, just maybe not for the one where you're saying "I do." Stepping away from classic white, this dress dives into the deep end with its all-silver look. It's a bold choice, shimmering from top to bottom, but more red carpet glam than a traditional wedding. It will surely turn heads, but maybe it's a little too shiny for an aisle walk. This kind of silver might not be everyone's cup of tea when it comes to saying "I do." It's not just about the color, though. The whole dress just screams fashion statement gone wrong. This dress has got some mixed signals going on. The top's super tight, which might not be the best for dancing the night away, or, breathing comfortably. And the bottom, well, it's trying something with that puffy material that's supposed to be flower-like, but it ends up looking a bit lost. It's like the dress can't decide if it wants to be sleek and modern or go for a big, bold statement. It's stuck in the middle, and it doesn't quite work. It's definitely not the worst ever, but it might be hanging in the back of the bridal shop for a while. Choosing a wedding dress is hard, especially when you need to maintain a balance between tradition and personal style. Going for a bold red and dramatic ruffles could be a bride's dream, but it's a lot for a wedding dress. A neck-swallowing ruffle might sound daring, but it's tricky to pull off without looking like the dress is wearing you. And when you add in a skirt that's all ruffles in every direction, it might be stepping over the line from striking to overwhelming. It's no wonder this dress sparked a family debate. The mother-in-law might be thinking of classic elegance, while the bride is into making a dramatic entrance. This gown looks like it couldn't decide between a pageant and a barn wedding. The top is overloaded with bling, pieces thrown together as if in a last-minute effort. It's as if every shiny thing in the room found its way onto that bodice, which doesn't quite sit right. Then you've got the skirt, just plain tulle without a hint of the sparkle above, as if the dress is having an identity crisis. It's a weird mix that doesn't really do the bride or the designer any favors. The idea of a sleeveless top paired with a full skirt has its own appeal in the bridal world. However, this dress misses the mark with its nude illusion top, which is not so flattering. The awkward placement of cutouts might leave guests confused, rather than awed. It's a gown that would stand out, but perhaps not for the reasons a bride might hope for on her walk down the aisle. The dress seems to struggle with balancing modern edginess and classic elegance, landing in a middle ground that doesn't quite capture the gist of either. Going for that Disney princess look can be a hit or miss, and this gown goes towards the latter. It's got the volume and the embellishments that could make someone feel like they've stepped out of a fairy tale, but the materials just don't do it justice. The fabric seems to fall flat, lacking the magic you'd expect from a princess gown. When you add to that the draping, it's falling in places, giving a sense that the gown is still a work in progress. It's ambitious, but it doesn't quite capture the charm it's going for, leaving us wondering what could have been with just a little more effort. This dress looks like it was going for futuristic flair, but ended up more like a kitchen foil disaster. The shiny material all over could be a bold move for a modern edgy bride, but the shimmer comes on so strong it's nearly blinding. And the draping? It's supposed to add elegance, but it really does the opposite. It's a gown that seems to be trying too hard to be noticed, and while it does stand out, it's probably not in the way one might hope for on their big day. It's a dress that'll have guests talking, but maybe for reasons you might want to leave at the altar. So these were the top 10 worst dresses in Say Yes to the Dress. When it comes to this show, not every gown is a hit. But you know what? That's okay. Every dress, whether it's a masterpiece or a bit of a flop, has its moment in the spotlight. It's all part of the roller coaster ride to finding the one that makes you feel like $1 million on your big day. So here's to all those dresses, the good, the bad, and the what were they thinking. Each one is just another step on the journey to the big I do. That's it for today's video. Which of these wedding dresses made you cringe in your seat? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.